So hi everybody, just Angela back again, and welcome to your new moon reading. And I just thought I'd do a astrological read for all the signs. This won't really be a generic astrological reading, like just looking at the symbology of this new moon in Libra, which will be happening tomorrow, 6th of October. The timing, when I looked on the moon calendar, is saying 11:05 GMT. So I always just tend to work with GMT because I know some of you in different places around the world. So I've got the work your light cards. I always want to call these work your magic cards. I don't know why, but there's a lot more to it, obviously, than meets the eye with these cards, which are these, and the Starseed Oracle, which are both by Rebecca Campbell. I love the energy of these cards. It's very galactic energies, which is what I feel that is going on right now. So also the Heal Yourself reading cards by Ina Segal, and I'm going to do these for the astrological signs. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to do an overview of the energies. So we can look at the archetypal meaning of Libra, and we know it's all to do with relational energies in our lives. However, what I kept sensing was with this new moon is this almost like two camps, and it's really important to note that with anything to do with soul growth and spirituality, or on the path of the soul, which is basically your life down here on earth, is that it's not a competition. Especially in some of the spiritual communities that I have previously been in or been around, it's quite, I don't want to say outdated, but it's kind of old energy to be on a path of ascension where you think you're ahead of someone else. And any teacher that believes that they is not understanding the responsibility of their position, which is, as a teacher, you're also a student. So everybody that walks into your life, even if you are teaching, whether it be a seminar, online groups, your students come to you as a teacher to you as well. It's quite fascinating when you look at it and you realise it really is a journey of equality on a soul perspective. So we have so many things going on in the world. There was a supposed power outage yesterday, which was quite interesting, which I'm going to talk about more. I'm going to do a separate group video on my Facebook page. I'm going to do a live and just bring that into the chat there. I want to keep this more around the new moon in Libra. But the two kind of groups that I'm seeing, it's just all energetic. As intuitives, we read energy, we tune into it, and some things can be beyond the mind, what we see, and it takes time to find the language, and sometimes the emotional language. We have to feel it out sometimes, or we have to spend time with the pictures in our mind, in our third eye, to be able to translate them into a human experience. So the two energetics I was seeing was, because one person was saying to me, this is a really big clearing moon, and then somebody else was saying it's an energetic upgrade, and I think it's both. And some people will be doing a clearing which will feel like a full moon energy. So decisions that maybe they have felt they've been procrastinating or putting off, they're going to get a big push energetically for it to go. So if there's things in your life that you haven't been dealing with, and we've all been there, there's no judgment, you will get pushed to some degree with this new moon. It's very powerful. This Mercury retrograde as well in Libra is one of the most powerful retrogrades of the year. And we've also got the majority of the planets, I think, is it 5 out of the 8 or the 7, I can't remember which, I'd have to look it up. There's a lot of retrograde energy which is that we've been going over ground that we've already experienced. And what some people have been doing is energetically, they've been doing this internally. So they've been going over old ground, not as in repeating old patterns. No, they haven't. They've been almost been like the worthy witness to their own experiences and seeing how they got to where they are, but seeing it with the eyes of curiosity, which it's almost like they're witnessing their own growth, and they've had a point on this journey where they've been guided to take stock and to just step back from everything, to actually process what they've gone through, but to see it in a different way. Quite often some of our difficult experiences, we think, oh, I don't want to go over that, I just want to forget about it. But it's almost like there were jewels to be still found by going back over this old ground. And this is what these retrograde energies have been bringing up. There's also a group, or you might, wherever you find yourself, you might be somewhere in between, I don't know. There's a group where they are, so I feel like with that first group, sorry, just going back over that, they're going to find this new moon a little bit different. They're going to find it for like a bit like springtime energy. Funnily enough, that's the feeling I'm being given. And then the other group are going to feel the clearing. And what I would just want to reassure you is sometimes we can feel everything we felt when the experience was happening, like it's happening again, but it's not, it's leaving us. And I just want to repeat that. So when energy is leaving us, we can almost feel like we are repeating the experience, or we're feeling it again, and it can sometimes feel overwhelming. And I want to reassure you and let you know that this is when the energy is calling to be released. So, you know, this there's so many different ways you can support yourself through this. Right, so I'm just gonna ask Spirit now to pull the cards out. So can you please give us an overview of this new moon in Libra tomorrow, please? Thank you. So that's the Starseed Oracle, and then work your light cards. So thank you so much. Can you please guide us, Spirit, and offer an overview of what this new moon in Libra is about? As I'm saying that, I'm feeling like my lungs like just exhale. So for some people, there's going to be a letting go of past grief, breathing it out, using your breath work to guide you, learning to breathe more deeply into your lungs, and activating your diaphragm to help you release this area. And actually what's great is if you can work on things that warm up your lungs, that can really help. Right, okay, so we've got, the first card we've got is Your Life is a Canvas, Artist, Manifestation and Creative Accountability. So this card here is beautiful. It's about a blank canvas coming for some people, and almost like thinking, oh my God, I actually didn't realise this was available to me, and not knowing where to start. And what Spirit is saying is just start now. This is a great time to start creative projects. I mean, Libra does rule art and beauty, and this can be anything from makeup to hair to, you know, people revamping their image, how they feel about themselves, how they dress, how they hold themselves, an upgrade. It can be quite often the internal changes will happen first, and then that can start to permeate on the outside. And as I was saying that, I could almost hear myself saying, well, no, actually, you can do it from the outside. But what Spirit's saying to me, no, there always is some kind of shift internal. It's just sometimes we're not conscious of it. What can sometimes happen is when we have a blank canvas, we can get really overwhelmed because we think, oh my God, well, where do I start with this, you know? But actually, what it is it's for some people, it will be time to tune in, to actually say to themselves, I need to actually really think about what it is now that I want in my life. And for so many people over this last period of time, they have felt to some extent, I think there's a learning here about not giving our power away to external sources, and that what this whole scenario and events of the last year or so have taught a lot of people is where to take control back in their own lives and to not put things on hold. So it's pushed people to just go out there and take risks, which has been great. And this is about creativity. These are good risks. These are not where you're putting yourself at risk, you know, safety wise or anybody else. But there's been a sense of not urgency, but, well, if I don't do it now, when will I ever do it? But for some people, there's a discovery period opening up around this new moon where the decks are being cleared and you almost didn't realise that this was going to be a possibility for you. Also, with the creative accountability, I'm hearing that not everything we create has to be turned into a business. It's about doing things for the love of it. And what Spirit is saying is that's a great starting point, because there are going to be a lot of people walking into self-employment and working for themselves, and freelancing is really going to do a 360 there. It's like people wanting to help themselves now, and people, you know, the market is really going to open up with sustainable products where they want value for money. And actually there's an element of business that's going to switch here. They're saying where people want to buy less products but better quality, more local, and what this awakening of understanding that we are actually part of a global community is that if we don't have a connection with our local community, these events we've been through, we cannot, it's not that we cannot survive, we can thrive when we have that connection to our local community. And I feel like this is where a lot of people's creative gifts are being born out of difficulty, because they've had to switch and they've had to find different resources. And there's this drive that's coming through that they're showing me of people creating products from not new manufacture of products that are harmful to the environment. Like, we're just switching from that. It's just the elements that are alive where I live at the moment. And this is a lot to do with because we're going to go back. We've got, I'm not saying we're going to, because it's up to us, but there's an opportunity to go back to renewable sources, but we've got to want them, and we've got to be willing to do the switch over, which is not going to be easy. People have got this addiction to having what they want when they want it, and it's like, you know, there's got to be a long-term goal here, which is for the next generations. It can't always be about us. And I think what Mother Earth is showing us how powerful the elements are, because when we have these natural disasters, nothing and no one can control them. That's how powerful the resources we have on Mother Earth. And I think we forget this, and it's something to tap into in order to support Mother Earth, and actually it will support us. It's like we're going to go back down to basics, and I'm just saying it's there. I'm not saying everybody's going to take it, but it is the answer to a lot of the issues that we're having, and this is where we need to focus on and support. So there's a dual message there. Now we also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations and divine plan. Wow, oh my God, I get shivers with this card. So I'm just going to show you the picture on here. How beautiful is that? It's like, this is laying down the foundations of new earth, new growth, understanding what can be born out of loss. This is putting together all the wisdom of the seers that went before us, all our past life gifts, I mean, again, I just feel like this is more of a collective message just out of the new moon. But this is blessed. It's a switch, and it's a direction we can take that's available to us. I mean, in this picture, we've got the Tour of Glastonbury, we've got the pyramids, ancient Egypt, we've got what looks like a rainforest in the right hand bottom section of the card, and on the left hand section I'm being drawn to Hawaii, and also the Celtic traditions, and it's almost like, you know, tying in all the ways of the masters before us and actually putting into practice what the teachings and the spiritual teachings we've been learning on the earth. And I know a lot of people are doing that because there's already people around the river walking around, and they are closed, like we can't see them, but there are people out there. But it is led by the divine feminine here. So it's led by, it's balancing out the old emasculation and repression of the past. And it's going to start to flower around this new moon. But also what I would say with this card, and it's a feeling I'm getting, is that if you know you've got something to offer that's going to help make a difference, it's there to be activated. But there's going to be an element for some people where they're going to go, where their ego's getting challenged and saying, well, I can't do this isn't going to make a difference. How is my let's just take like a beauty business, and maybe you are offering your beauty business with more natural products, and you are offering it to people who you travel around, and you're doing it to people at home. I know where I live, there's a massive market for this that's not tapped into, because who doesn't want, say, somebody who's elderly, who can't really doesn't have mobility, that they would love to have somebody to come round, have a chat, a cup of tea, and do their nails, and, you know, a treatment and things like this. And there's just so many different ways of doing things, and this is a really great new moon to tap into this, guys. I mean, Libra is an air sign, so it is linked with the mind and the higher mind, but I feel like this is a nod to the grandmothers and the divine mother, saying, look, come into my world, and I can show you what's available to you that is not of this world right now. So it's not in your world right now, it's not coming to manifestation, but there is almost like a sense of needing to retreat back into the I'm just going to say it, the womb of the mother, so the divine mother energy. I mean, this leads on from a lot of the messages I got for October. Well, I mean, it's going to, isn't it? We're in October, which is about rest and restoration and nurturing. And actually, I mean, some people, I was watching a program on an artist last night, and he said that he gets his best ideas through hard work when he's focused. I mean, some people are like that, and that works for them. But the energy I'm getting with this card is that these ideas will naturally flow to you when you're in this restorative place. And this is a retreat from the troubles of life. So this is a retreat from past traumas, but it's more to do with this past year, and just and disconnecting from it, things that you have seen and absorbed. It's just been relentless, really. It's been relentless. The information that we're being fed is very toxic at the best of times, because it's based upon an old precedent of divide and conquer, keep people in a state of drama, keep them repressed. And it's not meaning to be suspicious or anything like that or spread fear, but look, if it was not based upon money and greed and control, it wouldn't feel so toxic when you come away from it. Like, if you surround yourself with that information day in, day out, it has a massive effect on your energy. I mean, we all know this, don't we now? We all know what we surround ourselves with, we become. Right, so that's a general message there, guys. So just take whatever from that as you may. So now I'm going to I'll start with the signs with Aries. So the first sign will be Aries and the last sign will be Pisces. So I'm just going to pick one card unless they throw out a couple. I'm not going to do more than one or two cards, please, Spirit, if possible. If we can just, I mean, I'm not even going to try and control it. I'm laughing as I say this because I always just hand it over to them. But look, just the messages, please. So we're going to just do a couple of messages each sign, please. So an overview for this new moon in Libra, please, for Aries. Thank you. Whoa. Oh. Interesting. So you got the procrastination card. So it could be that it's actually time to take a rest. So this card came out in the October reading as well, so it'd be interesting if you picked the spirit animal messenger that came out with procrastination. So I actually feel this is a restorative card for you, Aries. I think it's time to take a rest. They're bringing me to the clock in the card and saying that, you know, it's just this sense of time. I have got so much to do and little time. And I know the energy of Aries likes to be busy. It's a fire sign. It likes action. It thrives on action. But I want to say to you that you can't work on burnout. You can't work on burnout, and you can't think that your energy can almost deceptively try to like outdo. Well, I can think myself through this, and I've got, you know, we're not all invincible. This is a big message about what this power outage was about, that, you know, we think we are to the detriment of, you know, we are at the helm of an outside establishment. We're actually not. That's what that showed us. And I want to say with you, it's time to restore your light, because your best ideas come through when you're on fire. But she's holding an oil lamp there, and it's like she just needs to bring in light, and it's around your chest area. So it could be heart chakra, it could be solar plexus with a nod to the yellow there. But I'm feeling like for some people that will be listening to this, you need to be starting your vitamin D protocol. I don't know why I'm saying that. Sounds like an American way of describing it, but I'm feeling like that, you know, your cells need light. However you get that is up to you. It might even mean for some of you planning a holiday. But you see, procrastination for me, even though it says that on the card, and maybe some of you feel like you've been procrastinating, but if you have been resisting a rest, like a time out, because you don't know how to wind down, that's again something that needs to be addressed in balancing in and out, because it's showing that, you know, for us to have a healthy nervous system, we need to be able to switch in between the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. And what can often happen is if we're on the way to burnout, we get stuck in fight and flight and we can't come out of it. We actually get put into a position where we get stuck with this busyness. We have to be busy all the time, because when we stop, we don't feel very good. And actually what it is the body's already in, batteries are running low, the warning system's going off, and you need to listen to that. So I feel like for Aries, this is a message. Again, if you know your moon, or you know your rising sign, you can take 3 messages and put them together with this. That was just my postman there delivering something. Hopefully it was a nice package and not a bill. Anyway, let's see in a minute. So that was Aries, guys. So thank you for that, Spirit. So message for Taurus now. And again, you can tie it into the main 2 cards as well there. So I'm just going to put grandmother there. I also am getting with these two cards as well that it's to do with understanding there are creative solutions to problems if you've been trying to find them. Right, so this is for Taurus. Phoenix rising. Right, my fellow bulls. So Phoenix rising is it's time now to put some alchemy into your life. Okay, you've got the power. I'm getting a lot of Merlin energy around this card. I was getting a lot of Merlin energy with the cards in general. You know, I'm getting sorcery sense with this, but it's more to do with magic and alchemy, and it's a powerful time for Taurians to work their magic, and this is the right hand, so it's to take action, but it's to co-create. So it's a creative time to manifest for Taurians. Also, if you've had a challenging time or things have been a bit like, oh, when will this ever change? It's time to switch your energy up. So if you know there's people, places and things in your life that aren't working for you, Taurus, I know, you're going to say, oh, but you know, it's hard to get, you just got to take action on it, which means stepping back from it, removing it out of your life. You can still do it gracefully, you don't have to announce it to everybody. But also I'm feeling like towards November your energy is going to climb in this area, so there's a build up happening, but also there's a nod here to reading and being receptive to what spirit are going to show you in books, in written communication, in what's popping up in your life. It's speaking to you. Spirit are really, there's a very strong link to written communication with Taurians at the moment. Learning, development, but also you participating in this yourselves as well. And what Spirit is saying is this has been a long time coming, actually, a long time coming. Right, brilliant. So that's the message I get for Taurus, guys. So thank you for that, Spirit. So for our wonderful Geminis, what have you got for them for this new moon in Libra, please, Spirit? What's the message? Right, so Geminis. So I'm going to say this with this card. The first feeling I got when I pulled out this card was longing. I was hearing longing. Maybe for somebody in the past. Again, I'm getting lots of different messages here, but these won't be for every single Gemini. Like for maybe all the messages for you, there'll be certain bits that will be for different people. So I'm feeling like there might be some ghosts from the past returning. So there might be somebody who you've previously had a relationship with that might be coming up, wanting to return. I mean, obviously what you do with that is up to you. The feeling I'm getting with this card is it's for some people it'll be to close that door once and for all. I feel like some Geminis, listen to this, they're wanting this, but they're either, the sense I get with it is that they're just letting this person come in that circulates and then doesn't stay. For almost like a fear of, oh well, because there's a strong connection with this person, but I feel like this was a soulmate to learn with, not to grow old with. Now that's probably for somebody specific here, but that's a past. And I've got to say in the card, I'm just going to say this with the background with this person, is there's a bit of coldness there. I'm not getting warmth, and I'm feeling like with you there is warmth. There's a warmth about you. There's a warmth about your heart, and there's a glow coming from you in this card. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do with this. It's really up to you. But this is definitely a card of change for you with the 14 down to 5. But also it could, I've got to say, what I'm also getting as well is I'm getting there's been a big shift with your energy into a much more warmer place about yourself and into your heart. So whereas before you would have been a bit like, maybe I don't know, maybe you felt disconnected from yourself. I don't feel that with this card. I feel a reconnection with you. The past was cold, it was barren, it was quite grey and a bit like, oh my God, you know, but the Gemini energy just making the most out of everything, and I'm hearing it's like keeping the ship going. But where you're going and where you're heading is even warmer. It's that the dark grey days are over, I've got to say. There's warmth, there's glow, there's a sense of you knowing what you're doing is right in your life now, and they want you to keep going with that. So that's the message that I get with Gemini. That was quite deep. Wow, Gemini. Right, so now to beautiful Cancer. Oh, well, that didn't even have to ask there, it just jumped out. Right, okay. Wow, so this new moon for you guys, massive amount of healing for Cancerians. So you got rejection and you got hole in the soul. And I know these cards just look shocking, honestly, but I really want to always say, like, I'm always the forever optimist, because that's what my journey with Spirit has been all about, is for them to remind me that that's who I really am. I feel like with this new moon, there could be some skeletons in the closet coming out, but they're coming up because they're just coming up to be processed. The cords are being cut, so you can move forward with a sense of freedom. Actually, I'm feeling like Cancerians are going to have an opportunity for freedom in their heart. So even if, like, you've had a decision to make, or there's something you want to do and you've got to involve your partner with it, you know it's going to affect the dynamics of your relationship. You might have to travel, you might have to give some of your time to what it is that you want to do more with your life with, and you can no longer put it off now. But it just means a pragmatic approach of communicating this with your partner without having the fear that they're going to reject it, because ultimately you are rejecting yourself if you don't do this. But also, you know, I have to say, so no, right, okay, this is a powerful, for some Cancerians, this is a powerful decision that you're making around this new moon in Libra. For some people, it will actually mean going on a course of healing, which is not it's a deep inward journey to heal the wounds of the past. And but ultimately, I have to say to you, it's just going to liberate you. It's going to liberate you, and it's going to really help you it's going to tap you into who you really are. You're going to feel like yourself, like you haven't in years. And also it's going to restore that feminine side. So again, if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, because for men, it can be that, or for the masculines, it can be that you're learning to receive the great love that you're going to create. So it could be that all the heartbreaks in the past have never been processed. They've been repressed in the body, and they're now calling to come out because you've asked for great love in your life. And a part of this process is your great love will do the work, just like you're going to do the work. But also, I feel like with Cancer, there's a massive message here for you about the new moon is going to give you an opportunity to really finally cut the cords of the past that have been holding you back. Yeah, brilliant. Right, beautiful for Cancer. Right, so now for our lovely Leos. What's the message for Leo? I thought there might be like 2-minute messages, but it's never the way, really. Anyway, that's all good. Message for Leo for the new moon in Libra, please. Message for Leo. There you go. Right, okay. So Leo's wearing many hats here. Which one do I put on? Which one do I show to the world? I'm not quite sure. There's so much going on. It's like, woohoo, I'm having a little party going on in my head. That's the energy I get with this card. But also, you know, you're encouraged to be yourself around this new moon, to have fun, to play with it, to not take yourself so seriously, which is what Leos are really good at doing. You know, actually Leos can wear their heart on the sleeve, and a lot of people don't realise that about the Leo energy. But there's just so much there's so much available to you here. I almost want to say, like, slow down a little bit, and choose the things that are really keep pulling you back. So that won't leave me, that keeps coming up. And actually I feel like with Leos it's a process of elimination around this new moon, and to put a hat on with something that you really feel you see yourself doing. So head and heart being in unison together, actually, for Leo. What's that in her hand? Yeah, I feel like this gestation period as well, and I feel like you're cooking up quite a few things in your cauldron at the moment, and just let the ones that need to percolate, for a little bit longer. And it's a bit like, if in doubt, don't do out. I know that sounds a bit northern. There's a helicopter just flying over. We get quite a lot of those around here. Let's see what else I get with that. Yeah, I feel like as well with Leos, there's a bit of a coming out here. So it could be that it's stop hiding your beauty, your natural beauty of who you are. So I feel like there's a vulnerability that's coming out with Leo as well over this new moon, which is really endearing, actually. Lovely to be around. Right, guys, that's the message for Leo. So what are we in now? Leo, now we're in Virgo. Gorgeous Virgos. Right. What's the message for Virgo in the new moon? Please, that flew out. Right, pride. Right. Oh, bless you, Virgos. I do love you all. This is a message of get out of your own way, get out of your own head, which I know for Virgos is difficult, but like there's two sides to a Virgo here in this card. One is if this absolutely, it's beautiful. It's actually quite virgin-like, I've got to say, if you look at the card. And there's this other side to it, which is stony and a bit like, well, I couldn't do that. I want to change this card from pride to self-sabotage. And I feel like Spirit are asking you to take off your mask of pride, to ask for help, but also to say no to things and stop being the person that everybody goes to get everything done and everything fixed. Stop overworking yourself. There is so much inner beauty within you that is yet to come out and shine, and it involves accessing vulnerability, learning to be more vulnerable with the right people is key for you, Virgo. Yeah, definitely. So I feel like this is an opportunity for you to let that go, to work with that energy, that mental self-sabotage that quite often stops you from doing something which you know is going to really contribute not only to your own life but to others. You've got so much to offer, Virgo. I don't think you realise, and I feel like this card is a bit of a reminder. So again, it could be working with the right, learning to develop the correct emotional language to express how you're feeling mentally as a means to execute a processing or pathway out of your physical body, and your mind will help you to channel your thoughts. But actually a beautiful message. It's a reminder of who you really are from Spirit. Right, so loving Libra now. It's your new moon, guys. So happy birthday if you are a Libra, if it's your especially if it's around this new moon. Right, so Wow, you've got so you got the Courage card. This is the card of stepping out of the shadows, but also it's learning to know when to let the shadows go. So like, yeah, a big part of soul path work, and especially the way that I work with my guides and Archangel Michael, I mean, this is really like Archangel Michael is showing you the way here. And it's like he's saying, look, sometimes we need to speak up and out. Not only we need to advocate for ourselves, and I'm feeling like this is a card to advocate for you this month, and also to speak up and out about what it is that you want to manifest or create. I don't know what you want to change, but also when we do shadow work, we need to learn when to drop the shadows. So are we invested in our shadow, or do we believe we can do it? And because you've got the healing card at the top of the pack here, so I want to say you've got the courage to heal, you've got so much available to you. The Libran energy, if you've got a lot of Libra in your chart, it's just the natural artist, whereas I'd say Aquarius is the visionary. I would say that Librans, or people with a lot of Libra in their chart, or wherever it is in your signs, in your planets, you have this ability to attract beautiful things into your life and experiences. You emanate that artistic beauty that almost inspires people. Like, I know somebody who actually is a Libran sun, and she's just got this, you go into her house and it just feels beautiful, like you want to live there. You go and you meet up with her and you see her wearing this outfit and it just looks amazing, and you think she just threw it together, just that natural ability to just beautify things. So it's time to step out the shadows now, Libra, and take that next step. I mean, I know that's generic, but for everybody, that next step could be so different. So yes, happy new moon, Libra. Right, now we're on to Scorpio. So sultry Scorpio, even Scorpios don't like, they've got such more to them than that. So for our beautiful Scorpios, what's the message for them for the new moon in Libra, please? Right. Oh, you're gonna laugh, Scorpio. Sexuality. Just as I was saying, there's so much more to the Scorpio energy than that. But also, Scorpio rules the 8th house in astrology, which is all to do with death and rebirth, sex, transformation. So I would honestly say to you, there's sexual healing going on here, because it is the sexuality card, but also it's time to get back in touch with your body, Scorpio, what your body can do. Our bodies were meant to move. I mean, if you cannot move because you are dealing with mobility challenges, if you are, physically dealing with challenges in your body, and you're naturally that way, energy needs to be moved in your body, and you can do that whether you are in a wheelchair or you're confined to bed. Sometimes we need the conduit of another person, so a therapist, a body movement therapist, massage, reflexology, acupuncture, all these body therapies that we can do help to move the energy when we can't do it through whatever challenges that we've got. But also I'm feeling that there's a sense of getting back in touch with things like music to help the body to move, and there's a sense of, I mean, I get a real strong link to tribes here, and how, they naturally dance and they celebrate and they come together. There's a link here to the snake because there's a cobra at the bottom of the picture. I feel like it's time to really get in touch with the wonder of your body and your physicality, and to stop hiding it. Because the thing is with Scorpio energy, it's very intense, and it's very because it's transformative, so it can either repel people or it can really pull them in. So people can be attracted to you like a magnet, but they will not know why. They just don't have a clue. They're all a bit like acting a bit strange around you. Or some people will feel a bit in this, and this is not meant to come out the wrong way, but it probably will, is a bit of fear, because it's an intensity that they maybe have not come into contact with. And what it is you're only awakening that in them, because that's what the Scorpio energy is here to do. A bit like the Virgo energy is actually got very strong healing and serving nature. So Virgos actually attracting a lot of people that will sometimes want to talk about their problems or need help with stuff, and Virgos are just amazing at helping and service. Yeah, they've got this ability as well to figure things out that people need help with, even healing with mentally. But Scorpio is to do with the body, it's to do with our creativity, and yeah, if there's been issues in that area, there's an awakening here. Kundalini energy, actually, I'm being told. Kundalini energy is creativity. I mean, sexuality is creativity. It's turned into a warped version of, it's very misunderstood, like Tantra. It's all misunderstood in today's modern society. It's become a parody of itself, and it's just, it's through a lack of understanding, Spirit is saying. People are afraid to explore, because it's actually where a lot of people's power reserve is. It's where their power is. Right, so lovely message there for Scorpio. So let me just put these cards in. So now we're going to Sagittarius, please. So for our lovely Saggies, what's their message for the new moon in Libra? Thank you so much. Whoa, you've got a few things going on. So that's your main card, which is Temptation. And then you got three cards. I'm not going to do all of these. Self-sabotage, entrapment, and cycles. So I want to say to Sagittarius, your message is, don't try to be like other people. Now, Sagittarians rarely are. It's probably, they try to emulate people more when they're younger, because Sagittarian is the archetype of the teacher. So you'll find that a lot of Sagittarians become natural guides, instructors and teachers. But what I want to say for you, Saggy, is the temptation there is to be listening to too many other people out there. That's your message. Do things the old way? No, because they've got self-sabotage there. Can you see, like, they're like bloody Skeletor. You're probably not even old enough to remember this. Was it He-Man? That's how old I am. He-Man used to be like a famous character, and Skeletor. So it was like, Star Wars and Luke versus Darth Vader. This is the same thing. Light and dark. Listen to your wisdom, not other people. That's the key to your path. Some of these cards, I know, but I really like these cards because they give you a really clear idea of the energy. Can you see? This is the old energy. This is, listen to us. This is how you become successful. This is, and the cycle is, look, there's you, and you're like, no, I'm going to clear all that crap out. I'm in a new cycle in my life, and I'm going to be doing what I love what I do, and I'm not listening to any of this crap. Sorry, I shouldn't say that as a teacher, but you get my gist. I'm just going to cut through it and just say it to you. So it's like, listening to this and this person and whatever. And I also want to say to you, Sajji, just as a warning here, that I want to say who you surround yourself with. Just make sure that they want the best for you, just like you want the best for them. Because all is not what it seems, and that's not to scare you or anything, but you'll know this anyway. Sagittarians have got such a great intuitive radar, really, really strong intuition when they listen to it. Just don't second guess yourself, Saggy. You always make the right decision, and you know this when you look back. Right, so thank you, that's for Saggy. Now on to Cappy, to our lovely, beautiful Capricorns. What's their message for the new moon in Libra? Woo! Oh, that's gorgeous. So, Capricorn, and I've got to say for Capricorn, I know a few Capricorn energies, and inner child, it's time for you to get back out there and play. There, I want to say, Capricorn, enough with the seriousness, enough now. And you need to be in your mystical, wild child. Like the best thing you could do is just take off all the restrictions, the rules and the regulations, and be in your mystical, magical, childlike state, however daft that is. I mean, best way to tap into that is being in nature, as we know. We hear that so often, but being in nature in a place that you find mystical and a wonderment. So it's even maybe going somewhere different in nature, not even booking, but can you see, that's the thing with Capricorn. I'd be like, well, I'd have to book it, I'd have to arrange, you know, that's serious. It's like, no, just get up one morning and go, do you know what, I'm going to go to the Peak Districts, I'm going to go down to, I don't know, Patrick, if you're in Ireland. I want to go down the rainforest if I'm in Bali. I mean, I know it's been difficult, we can't just up and leave, and I know in the UK at the moment with this bloody fuel crisis, it's not straightforward for people, but I mean, I was out the other day, I got on 8 trains. It was an adventure. I was knackered at the end of it, but it was quite invigorating. It was like I got out of a jail card, but it also made me appreciate going out and having a day out and doing something different. I don't want to be in the city every day. I don't want to live there. I don't want to be there regularly. Capricorn, for you, it's time to go back and have some fun with your inner child. She's calling for your attention. You'll know this because you'll be getting cranky and you'll be getting irritated by people and things and situations and to do with establishments, the law, rules and regs. You'll be feeling really frustrated and irritated by it, and it's like your child just, you want to get back into that free loving side of yourself. And I've got to say, the energy I'm getting with this is that you really deserve it out of all the people. I just feel like there's a lot of, I just want to go like that, hard working energy. Everything's been like hard work, keep going, get this done, just need a bit of a break from the adulting side of life, but you don't often say that to people, do you? So beautiful message there for Capricorn. Right, so for Aquarius now, what's your message for the new moon? Oh, right. So Aquarius, are you taking off your mask? I think your message here is quite straightforward in this card. Just like with, see, Aquarian energy, when I see it and it's really in its like power, is it's so, what you see is what you get. Almost like, however kooky you are, it always makes sense. And I want to say with you that there's something that you were doing that you're not going to be doing anymore, and there's something, a new area of your life or a new skill or a new, I want to say, method or something. So like if you're a writer, maybe it's time to start sharing your work. It's now time to start having a medium where people can actually access you and to step out a little bit. Maybe it's, I even feel like this is a card of taking steps. So it could be that you are now going to be applying for something like a scholarship, or trying a new skill, or honing a skill, or a technique is what I want to say. A technique. So like she's hung up her ballet shoes in this picture, but I feel like she's still got more dancing to do. Do you get me, Aquarius? You kind of dance through life. You let things just fall off your, water off of your back. You could teach us all a lot on how to deal with those complexities in life and how you've handled them. And I'm feeling like your energy is very clear in this card. It's like, sorry, the universe Spirit is just saying it's now time to take that next step. I know one of the other signs said that, but I just feel like it's now time for you to take that path you know you want to take, and you've been thinking, well, when? You just keep getting that, shall I do it, shall I do it, shall I try this, shall I give it a go? And they're just saying you've got nothing to lose. And also you need that change. You thrive on that kind of, it's like when things are just stable and the same all the time, you get bored. You get bored, like say if you were writing in one modality or one style, you just get bored. You thrive in learning different methodologies. I can't describe it. How do I put it into words, Spirit? You need to help me out here. You thrive in other existences and scenarios. You need the variation. It's almost like it inspires you, it invigorates you. That's how I want to say it, right? Now, wonderful. So, last but no means least, gorgeous Pisces. What's the message for Pisces? Oh, here we go. Have faith. Right, this message came out as well. So, it's funny because the love cards come up at the top of the pack. So, have faith card can mean lots of different things. It can mean like, don't give up just before the miracle appears. Again, I think this is to do with relationships for Pisces. So it's like the message I'm hearing for some people is, just because every relationship you've had has failed doesn't mean it was a failure. It was part of your growth. And actually for some Pisces here, there is somebody in the waiting, because I can see it in the love picture. There's somebody actually who has their eye on you. This sounds like a Mystic Meg message, but you've got to give the messages as you get them. And it's all pink here, which is what Spirit says, right? All the pink stuff. And it's not obviously like the season of love, but with Pisces, it's always the season of love. So I want to say to you, Pisces, if you've been a bit like, oh no, you know, if you've been, you'll know like the Pisces isn't happy because they're very simply sad, and they really show it on their sleeve. You can just tell there's a sadness about them, and when somebody's got a lot of Pisces on it, you just want to give them a big hug. I just want to give Pisces a big hug. But also, what I want to say to you, Pisces, because your message is a bit cryptic, is that if this isn't about love for you and you're happily, whatever, single, you're happily dating, having fun and whatever it is what you've always wanted and desired is going to happen for you, whether that's going to be in love, because I feel like this pole with the cross on it is a signpost. Whenever I see this card, I always think it's a signpost, and it's saying that you're there, but you see, she can't see it yet. She hasn't turned around to have a look, but it is going to come into your physical vantage point. So you're going to physically experience it, see it, know it, not believe it. This is a card of reassuring you to don't stop believing. What's that? Is that a song by Journey? I always want to that's what you need to hear on this new moon. But also I think for some Pisces, this is a brilliant new moon for you to tune into the feeling of the type of love relationship that you want to have. Because this is number 4, and 4 is about stability. The love card is it's number 1, so it's about beginnings. So it's a really powerful time to tap into love for you, because the Libran energy with Pisces is Libra is ruled by Venus, and Pisces is the sign of love, again ruled by Venus. Is it ruled by? No, it's ruled by Neptune. So actually the energies of Venus that are activated at the moment will be quite powerful for you, because Venus is in Sagittarius. Now, if you are not interested in a love message, I feel like for other people, if this is another area of your life, you are going to get your sign soon. You are going to get your sign soon. So what you can do is to help yourself, is to reassure yourself and say to Spirit, thank you so much. I know that the solutions and the signs are on the way. And it could be that you're feeling like, I've forgotten, I don't know where my power is in manifesting. Sorry guys, just my screen went off there, so I might just have to relook at that. Yeah, so there we go. So I think that Spirit is saying to me, that's the end of the message, because my screen just went on to screensaver. And telling you, there's so many messages through technology at the moment. It's like the galactic energies are working with us. And that might mean for you that your sign might literally come out of the sky, guys, literally out of nowhere. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to say thank you so much for listening. If you think somebody could benefit from this reading, it could help them, please, I appreciate it if you would like to like and share it. And yes, and just thank you for being here. And if you would like me to do any readings on anything specific, please let me know, and I will try and work it into my schedule with what I'm already doing. So lots of love to you, lots of light, lots of hope, and let's fully absorb and work with this energy of Libra new moon tomorrow. So just have a wonderful one, and I will speak to you soon. Lots of love.